Welcome to Brunch with Books. This is June and we are exploring love, not just as a feeling, but as something we learn, we misunderstand, and hold on to. We have picked up two beautiful books to read. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gary, a timeless guide that decodes how we can, understand this relationship through communication and uh, how we can navigate differently. And The Notebook by Nicholas Spark, a deeply emotional story of enduring love and memory. One helps us to understand why we struggle to connect, and the other one has reminded us why we never stop trying. Two different perspectives, right? One explains love, and the other makes you feel for it. So let's dive deep and see what is there to learn from these two books. Over to you, Dr. Geeta, for starting the discussion.
Thank you, Sritapa. Hi, everyone. Today's episode is inspired by the acclaimed novel The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks, which was on the New York Times bestsellers list for more than a year. It was made into a movie in 2004 and grossed over 117 million worldwide. The heartwarming story gently reminds us how love can shape us, stay with us, and sometimes outlive time itself. This is not just a love story. It is a narrative filled with beautiful descriptions and emotional depth, making it a timeless read. It's about memory, connection, and the quiet moments that change the course of our lives. The story begins quietly in a place where time seems to move a little slower. In a care home, an elderly man named Noah Kaloon sits beside a woman who seems distant, lost somewhere within her own mind. Every day, he opens an old worn notebook and begins to read. Not just any story, their story. He reads as if the words themselves hold hope, as if somewhere within those pages she might find a way back to him. And then we are taken back in time to a summer in the 1930s, to a small town where life feels simple and the air is filled with music, laughter, and possibility. That's where a young Noah first sees Ali. It happens at a carnival, bright lights, Ferris wheels, the hum of joy all around. And in the middle of it all, he notices her. She's different, confident, spirited, full of life. A girl from a world far removed from his own. And in that moment, something shifts. Noah doesn't just admire her, he decides almost instinctively that he has to know her. What follows is not smooth, not perfect. It is bold, unexpected, persistent. He asks her out, she refuses. He insists, she resists. Until finally, somewhere between his stubbornness and her curiosity, she says yes. And that one yes changes everything. What begins as a simple summer romance soon becomes something deeper. They spend their days together, laughing without reason, arguing without holding back, challenging each other, discovering each other. Their love is not perfect. It is real. It is messy. It is alive with genuine feelings and happiness. Noah shows Ali a world that is free, unstructured, and unafraid. Ali shows Noah a world of dreams, art, possibility, and opportunities. And in each other, they find a version of themselves they had never known before. For the first time, love doesn't feel like something you think about. It feels like something you fall into naturally, completely, fearlessly, without asking what comes next. First love feels effortless, electric, unforgettable. The kind that doesn't just say stay in your memory, it quietly shapes who you become. This makes us reflect on what love has morphed into today. My question to you all viewers is, in today's world where love often moves fast, is filtered through screens and measured in moments, can one still allow oneself to fall into love fearlessly? Or has one become more cautious than connected? So, I now invite Dr. Siddharth to share his reflection on this question. Over to you, Dr. Siddharth.
Wow, what a beautiful question you are asking, Dr. Geeta. And I love this book. Notebook is such a lovely story. Um, Appreciating love is something humans are bound to do in their lives. And if they are not able to love, then they are not humans. Love has been given to us by nature, and we are that one emotion kind of changes everything around us, I feel. So when we are trying to be cautious that we don't fall in love, or we don't we tread with caution, I think what we are trying to make ourselves is not human anymore but machines. And I feel that if we become machines, then we are losing to live with that curiosity and uh, the expectation of living something which is completely magical. I feel we can't be logical all our lives. We have to believe in magic, and magic is all about love. How we actually go and understand ourselves better, and understand the other people around us better. That can happen only through love. So I feel I don't have a story today, but what I feel is that since I believe in love so much, I every time I think about a new person, I mean a new thing, whichever I'm starting with, or a new person getting acquainted with, I feel exploration can help us understand a lot of things. And the one thing which we can be, nurturing inside us is love. So that it is always like whatever we give, we receive. And that's a universal law. So if we believe in this law of giving, then we will receive. So with love, I think we can actually resolve a lot of things. So there is no point of over cautioning ourselves that this may happen or that may happen, but rather move ahead with love. I feel that is what my message today is. Over to you, Shitapa, for your message. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Wow, what a beautiful statement that yes, love is fearless and there is no point being cautious while falling in love. So give love and you will receive. So I want to bring in one incident from a movie which was a big hit, a Hollywood movie released in 1997 about the Titanic. Titanic was showing that Jack and Rose they met for the first time and instantly they fall in love with each other. And when they come to know about each other, they realize they are coming from a very different background. Rose, the girl, was from a very rich and affluent family, whereas Jack was a very ordinary guy, not matching the standard of the girl to even agreeing that parents will accept them. So they had not thought anything about that. They just know that they like each other. They choose to trust each other, and they fell in love fearlessly. And when Rose opens up about her suffocation and fears to Jack, Jack just doesn't overthink. He shows up every day, fully present, and he just be the real him. And that's what it happens. Like there was nothing much they did. It was a pure connection, a pure bond. And nowadays, what we do is we meet a person even before meeting we complicate by overthinking, over analyzing, and what if this doesn't work, what if that doesn't work, and hold ourselves back and protect ourselves from getting harmed. First thought comes is what if it doesn't work, what if we are like this, and that's how we take. So it's more cautious love than fearless love. The things have changed maybe because of various incidents around. So I hope that there is still some raw and honest connection in the moment, and people approach with pure love ahead. Over to you, Sujata.
Thank you, Shritapa, for reminding us and relating the notebook with the Titanic. It was so good. And Dr. Siddharth, the way you also said that love is something that should not invite questions and other things. So these are the same thing. Now, when I come to the non-fiction companion for this month, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. John Gray, he also starts his book with a beautiful story. He says, imagine that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Long ago, the Martians and the Venusians, they met, fell in love, and had wonderful relationships together. Why? Because they respected and accepted their differences. Then they came to Earth, and amnesia settled. They forgot they were from different planets, and that is when the trouble started. Here is the core difference. Gray says Martians, that is men, value power, competency, and achievement. They are goal oriented. A Martian rarely reads a book without asking, what can I learn from this? Venusians, that is women, value love, communication, and relationships. For them, sharing and relating is more important than achieving goals. Now, Gray gives a wonderful example from his own practice. He tells the story of a couple he calls Tom and Linda. In the early days of dating, Tom would drive across town to fix something in Linda's apartment without being asked. Linda found this charming. She would call him just to share a story from her day. He found this fascinating. Gray says, I love this quote. In the beginning, they were fascinated by the differences. They didn't try to change each other. They were from different planets and they loved it. Another striking line from Gray, when Martians and Venusians first got together, they had no problems. They accepted their differences and lived in harmony. It was only when they landed on Earth and forgot that they were from different planets that their troubles began. Now let's map this to the notebook. In the fiction round, you just heard Dr. Geeta. She told us about Noah, how he sees Ali at a carnival, and he decides instinctively that he has to know her. She refuses, he insists, she resists, then finally she says yes. Gray would say Noah is acting like a pure Martian, direct, persistent, goal-oriented. He sees something he wants and goes after it. No overthinking, no hesitation, and Ali is acting like a pure Venusian. Cautious, relational, open to connection. She does not try to change Noah. She does not expect him to talk about feelings for hours. She simply enjoys the mystery of who he is. And here is the most important part. They are not yet suffering from earth amnesia. They are not expect Ali to solve problems like a Martian, and Ali does not expect Noah to share feelings like a Venusian, but they just accept each other completely without asking what comes next. And that is why their love feels so effortless. That is why the summer feels so magical. They have not yet landed on Earth. They're still on Mars and Venus. And Gray would say that is exactly where love begins, in curiosity, not in expectation. Now, Jasveer, can you think of a story about two people who were completely different from each other, and yet that difference is exactly what attracted them to each other? What was that story? Over to you, Jasveer.
Thank you, Sujata. Yes, there is a lovely Bollywood movie which has run for almost 20 years in the cinema halls. It's an astounding success. I'm sure all of us know about this movie and have connected with it during our youth, when we were younger, that is. And this movie is one of the best Bollywood blockbusters. It's called Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, with the two protagonists being Raj, the hero, and Simran being the actress. Now, both the characters, both the protagonists are exactly opposite in nature. Raj is the flirtatious, happy-go-lucky, boy who stays in London, and Simran is the cultured and very docile and dreamy girl, and she dreams of finding her Prince Charming somewhere in life, and she's brought up in a very restricted very strict rules in her house, though they stay in London. And I mean, it's the culture that she's been brought up with, and everything for her is by the book. And he's carefree and full of life, and extremely sporting. And they bump into each other when they're going to a Europe trip on a train, and that particular scene is very amusing, because she actually is about to miss the train, which is not like her, but she actually lands is about to miss the train, and he holds out his hand and drags her in. He was late for the train, because he's the kind who gets up late and not disciplined, doesn't care about things, and she's like very particular, but she lands up being late for the train somehow. And she's a bookworm. She's into her book and novel, and all her clothes have scattered on the floor, and he helps her to pack. And then she realizes, and she's very averse to him, because he's trying to be chirpy, happy, and trying to make friends, and she finds it very weird, because she's never met a guy who's really relaxed about everything. And as the movie progresses, we realize that his values are as strong as hers, and then he comes up and explains to her later, when they get closer as friends, because this entire trip they're together, and in spite of being complete opposites, they realize that their core values are the same. It's just the way they project themselves. He projects himself as a chilled out character who's enjoying life, and which should be the case. It's not necessary you have to be serious all the time. And she's this serious woman who means business, and he makes her realize that not every chilled out person is characterless or something. He has his values in store, and that's how they get fond of each other, and they develop feelings for each other. And the movie has beautifully portrayed this. Two opposites have attracted strongly to each other, and that builds a stronger foundation to their relationship as they mature and progress in the relationship. So it's a lovely movie, and exactly portrays this entire book, which is Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, because he means action every time, and she means feelings every time. So yeah, that was my example. So now I hand it over to Dr. Geeta to continue with the notebook. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasbir. That was indeed a delightful movie, and I remember watching it long time back, and brought such lovely memories back. And I love that, what started the conversation with Dr. Siddharth saying that love is such a beautiful emotion, and it is to be enjoyed and not be cautionary about it. And Shritapa giving us the example of Titanic, and with Sujata, saying that the men are from Mars with that ambition and goal oriented, and women are from Venus, who love communicating and sharing. And here again, one more example, and it's so beautifully explained, the analogy that what is needed is the opposites attract, and it is the that complement each other, which makes a beautiful synergy, a beautiful whole. And coming back to the notebook, we stepped into a love that felt effortless. We saw that. Almost magical it felt. But not all love stories are allowed to remain untouched. What happens when love meets resistance? And not from outside, but from within also, and from the world around it. What began as a summer romance between Noah and Ali soon deepens into something neither of them can ignore. First, in the beginning, it was just, limited to them, and the world starts to notice. Their days stretch longer, their conversations go deeper, and their connection becomes impossible to dismiss. And then they begin to dream together about life, about the future, about a world where they don't have to explain their love to anyone. But reality has its own plans. Ali comes from wealth, structure, and expectation, and Noah comes from simplicity, hard work, and life built with his own hands. And slowly, that difference is no longer invisible. Ali's parents begin to notice, to question, to intervene. To them, Noah is not suitable. He is not secure enough for her future, not enough up to their standard. What once felt like a beautiful reality now feels like a battle. The pressure builds quietly at first, in conversations, in glances, in unspoken disapproval, and then it becomes louder. Arguments begin between Ali and the parents, and slowly between Ali and Noah too. Not because they love each other less, but because loving each other is becoming harder. Their conversations turn intense, emotions rise, words slip out in anger, words that don't always reflect the love beneath them. And somewhere between passion and pressure, they begin to lose the ease they once had. Their laughter dims, their silences grow between them, and their love once was so free and now feels like something they have to fight to protect. Love isn't always what breaks under pressure. Sometimes it is the weight of expectations, opinions, and circumstances around it that slowly tears it apart. This is a hard question to ponder. Earlier, relationships were shaped not just by two people, but also by families and social expectations. But today, it is shaped even by public opinion on social media. In such case, viewers, what do you think? How much of our love is truly our own, and how much of it is influenced by the world watching us? And now I invite Dr. Siddharth to share his reflections on this question. Over to you, Dr. Siddharth.
Again, a beautiful question, Dr. Geeta, and this is such a interesting topic which we are talking about today. Love, which is true, and that's how they connected. But then they are getting influenced slowly, and they are changing their meanings, their purpose, and how things are shaping up later. I have a beautiful story to share for this, which is a friend's story, and it's an amazing love story they had. They were dating each other since I think 12th. Yeah, when we were in 12th. And they had a lovely, I mean, they were a lovely couple. So everybody knew that they are going to, marry each other, and, that beautiful line we say in the movies, live happily ever after. So we were imagining like that. And when the farewell, during the farewell also, some of the people actually had even given them marriage gifts instead of the farewell gifts, marriage gifts. Making the photos, cups, and all that. So that was amazing. Over a period of time, we got busy with our work, I mean, studies and things, other activities. They wanted to really be aware of, they wanted to know what happened to them. So I think after some 6 or 7 years, we had a connection again. All the, pass outs started connecting with each other over social media. When I passed, social media was not there. Over a period of time, social media came in, and we all were curious. Where are these people? Where are all our friends and all that? We tried to connect. And then we had this one question in our mind that did they get married? And unfortunately, they didn't. There was so much love which we had seen, and there was somebody who was a close friend of there, and we came to know that they had studied even after that in the university. They were in the same field of studies as well. Their courtship was going on, and everything was hunky dory. Even their parents and family had actually almost got aligned that they are going to get married. But then something happened, and they were actually not ready to marry each other. They had a conflict, and finally they got married to different people. Now, because the guy, I knew the guy, I tried to connect with the guy and had this curiosity, what really happened. And when I spoke to him, I came to know that the girl was actually getting into a different kind of, I mean, it was like new life for her, because when she got into the university, she was seeing a lot of things, and she figured out that the guy she had chosen is not the right guy, and she fell in love with somebody else. Now, was that true love or not? the guy was like kind of completely broken, that he had given so much time and effort and wholeheartedness to this person, but then she left him alone. And then when I asked really what was the reason, it came out to be that the group where they used to talk, they were very jealous of their love, and they used to give her some kind of insights about him, though he was not into smoking or alcoholism, but they were actually uh, delineating both of them from each other, giving those kind of example that he is into different kind of activities and all that. The guy kind of confessed and cried in front of me, telling that I've always loved her. I didn't want to do anything of this, but somehow this thing happened. So what I am coming to is that when we are in such a pure relation where love matters a lot, I think the most important part is to protect that relation itself, the sanctity of it, rather than discussing about this with anybody else. That confidentiality and the nitty gritties of this relation should not be known to anybody. The moment we open up these things to anybody, I feel, and they are all jealous people all around us, they are looking at this kind of things, and they may create some kind of friction between two loving people, which the world is known to do all the time. We have seen umpteen movies, umpteen books we have read about that, and that is real. So love, if not treated in the right way, can actually break just because of assumptions or miscommunications, wrong expectations, and things like that. So yes, it can happen that we get into a situation where uh, though we love each other, but then the influence of the world around us, the society around us, can actually inflict on it. Only that will not happen only if we are very strong with our relationship and we don't let anybody uh, try to devour that relationship which we have built on. So I think that is what my message was. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shitapa, to share yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth. That was really a deep message to everyone that how to protect love when you are in love, and how misunderstanding and assumptions and external pressure or situations can tend to break it if we are not careful and cautious about it. So cautious is needed there, not in the emotion and feeling to express. So I would like to add here one more incident from one of my friend. He I have known from a long time, even before he had fallen in love. So he was a junior to me, and we met as colleagues, and later we were very good friends. And he was a very serious guy, barely interested in any other extracurricular activities. He came from a very small place, and a village background, so he was not aware of the city environment too much. So he was always careful about how to speak, how to talk, and limited himself much with the work and nothing else. So he was good at his work. That's all for him. But he was very responsible, and he knew to cook well, and he was a very caring person. So this was him. And after a few years, he met someone who is exactly opposite to him. And the girl was very bubbly, very social, likes to dress up well, very creative, and often wants to go out and create beautiful memories, travel, etc. So it was just opposite to him. He was in simple his dressing. He'd never focused, I think, ever in his dressing when he came to office. It was simple dress, and that's all. It would be neat, clean, ironed. That was his basic requirement. And she was like well dressed, a pretty looking girl, and tip top, beautiful. And finally, when these things were going on, they started dating. Everything went well within them. There was a lot of other situations which were also going wrong. The guy was from a family background which the girl's family was not accepting. His education background was another problem. Then there were a lot of other things which were creating the boys' side. The family was not ready to accept the girl because they were expecting dowry, and he was not willing to take it. And there were a lot of confusion and chaotic situation where the environment is not supporting the wedding at all, and both decides to get married. And after a long struggle, they definitely convince both the parents and they get married. Okay, so here the good thing was, it was not what Siddharth's story end up to be. Here it was like the girl's weakness became his strength. He started learning many things from her, and he started dressing up well. He started enjoying things, and he started doing more things along with his work, because he's still workaholic. That has not changed. He still works and is more aligned there, but he does the other things also, which is glad to see. And on the other end, when I see the girl, she was not doing great when they started interacting, but with his presence, she has leveled up so much in her career, and both has become strength of each other's weaknesses. So here, even they are opposite to each other, that is their strength. That has built both of them beautifully as a couple. And with this, I think it is a very beautiful bond if we know how to communicate and pull each other up with love and strength. Over to you, Sujata, for more information from these two books.
Thank you, Shritapa, for sharing that lovely true story about love, relationships, and misunderstandings. Now, coming back to the books, in the fiction round, Dr. Geeta had just narrated how Noah and Ali are no longer strangers. They're spending their days together, laughing, arguing, discovering each other. And in the non-fiction too, John Gray has a lot to say about this stage of a relationship. Because what is happening between Noah and Ali is not random. They are accidentally giving each other exactly what they need. Let me take you to Gray's book, the chapter on how to motivate the opposite sex. And here is the core idea. A man is motivated when he feels needed. Gray writes that a man's deepest fear is that he's not good enough, that he's a failure. When a woman expresses trust in his abilities, even for small things, it fuels his motivation to give more. A woman is motivated when she feels cherished. Gray writes that a woman's deepest fear is that her needs do not matter. When a man listens without trying to solve her problems and shows he cares, she feels safe and relaxed. Here is a direct line from Gray. I quote, "When a man feels needed, he is motivated to give more. When a woman feels cherished, she is motivated to give more. But give a man what a woman needs, and he feels smothered. Give a woman what a man needs, and she feels abandoned." Now, Gray gives a beautiful example from his practice. He tells the story of a young couple, David and Rachel. Early in their relationship, David would wake up early to make Rachel coffee before she went to work. He felt needed, and Rachel would sit with him and tell him about her dreams. She felt cherished. Gray says they were accidentally doing everything right. He was giving her cherishing by listening, and she was giving him needing by accepting his small acts of service. Neither was trying. They were just in love. Now let's map this to the notebook. Noah shows Ali his work. He builds things, he rows boats, he lives freely. And Ali trusts him. She follows him, she lets him lead. In that simple act, she's telling him, I need you. And that fuels Noah's motivation. He feels competent, he feels valuable, he gives more. Ali shows Noah her worth. She talks about art and dreams and poetry, and Noah listens. He does not dismiss her dreams as impractical. He does not try to fix them or solve them. He just listens. In that simple act, he is telling her, I've cherished you. And that fuels Ali's motivation. She feels safe, she feels seen, she gives more. Neither of them is performing, neither is reading a manual on how to love. They're just being themselves. And Ray would say that is the secret. The problem in most relationships is not that we stop loving, the problem is that we start giving what we would want instead of what our partner actually needs. So a man gives solutions because he would want solutions. A woman gives advice because she would want advice, and then both feel unloved. But Noah and Ali are not doing that yet. They are still in the golden period. He is giving her cherishing, and she is giving him needing, and it works beautifully. So, now Jasveer, what exactly causes miscommunication and misunderstandings in relationships? Would you like to add on to this or give your insight into this? Over to you, Jasveer.
Yes, Sujata, what really causes misunderstanding and miscommunication is when we start taking our partner for granted. That is one primary reason. Over time, right in the beginning, the first honeymoon period, everything looks hunky dory, and like the husband would go out of his way. Possibly, he'll do errands, he'll do small acts like maybe make the bed and keep his towel for drying, and she realizes that he's doing this because now he cares for her, and he doesn't want to act like a careless person. And then she can also tell him about whatever gossip she wants to share, or if she has any concerns at her workplace or about her relatives, she can share those feelings and be listened to. And what she wants is someone to listen to her and understand her emotions, because obviously you can't change other people. And over time, the man gets bored of this. He's no longer interested in what she's talking, and that kind of gap appears between the two of them when she starts doing errands and he stops listening. Now, when she asks for help is when he knows that he's needed, he's still wanted, and that makes him feel appreciated. And when he listens to her without giving solutions, she knows that she's being cherished. She just is not existing as a spouse, but she's being heard. As simple as a couple who have been married for 20 years plus. In Indian households, we have servants and helpers. And the ladies had a long day managing the children, managing different household chores. And when the husband comes back, even he's had a very long day after uh, attending office. And she's a housewife, and she's been managing the house, and she's been going crazy with different tantrums of the children and the servants. And when they sit down after dinner, and there is something to be fixed, and instead of asking him for help, she goes and does it herself. For instance, maybe a bulb has fused, and she needs to change it. And then he feels irritated because she's not asking for that help, and he expects that he should be the one who should be fixing it. And then when she sits down and explains to him, she's, the servant is causing trouble, or, creating a lot of problems. And he's like, okay, then go and change the servant. Why worried? We can get another servant. But that's not the solution. And she's not asking for a solution. She's asking to just be heard, because all she wants to do is vent her emotions, the entire day that she has gone through. And he's offering solutions, and that triggers her. So this kind of communication causes misunderstandings, and over a period of time she stops sharing her feelings, and he stops expecting her to ask him for any kind of help where he can offer a solution. So it's like this, when a man stops feeling needed, and what is something that really gives a boost to him, and when a woman stops being heard, which really makes her feel wanted, that's when the misunderstanding and miscommunication sets in. And it needs a lot of work between the two, because it's not that they don't love each other, it's just that they have stopped understanding what each of them expects from the other. And all this can be resolved over a period of time. So now let me hand it over to Shritapa to conclude today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasbir, and that was really informative. And I'm sure many people hearing us today have learned something from each of these real life incidents or from the incidents of movie which we have shared and from the depth of these two books. So thank you for giving that example to make it even more explainable and understandable that where things are going wrong and what needs to be addressed, and for both men and women, which is equally helpful for both. So this with this I close today's episode. Thank you, tata, bye bye, take care, and do not forget to follow, like, and subscribe our channel Brunch with Books if you enjoy these conversation and really think that this is helping you grow. Thank you.